Hey guys, listen. This is for the tips hotline, and it's for everybody in the room, obviously. What we're going to do today is I want to make sure that I place you guys mentally in the right spot of the demo where we're at, okay? You've already laid the shampooer down. We know that the shampooer has to have a crisp 4x4 section so that the customers can see the differences, true? Okay, that's already been laid down. When you're doing the shampooer, by the way, I will say this. Don't be afraid to do it 2 directions, suck it up, go back and do it the other 2 directions, suck it up. The customers don't care if it takes you 4 different directions to get that square looking perfect. They just want to know that they can bring their carpet back to perfect. True?
True.
Okay. All right, now, one of the things you're going to do is as it's laid down, you're going to explain the differences between the wet systems and the dry systems, okay? You know, with Kirby, with the 90% moisture, 90% air, 10% moisture, there's a difference, okay? And one of the differences is this. First of all, when we're looking at this, okay, the vacuums should be able to pick this up. We know it's not even picking that up, true?
True.
We've already talked about that when we dissected the pad, right?
Good.
Okay. Now, this is what's happening. I'm going to tell you this. When you're doing this, guys, you're going to want to put a bunch of pads underneath, okay, so that nothing happens. Don't worry about the pad cost. I'll buy more. Okay? Let's just get the point. This is what I like to do. Now, we're going to set this down. We're going to go like this. We're going to say, okay, when you're pulling up dirt, right? Okay. If you shampoo over dirt, what's it going to make?
Mud.
Mud. And what's mud spelled backwards?
Dumb.
No, not you, the process, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the thing about steam cleaning, which is so bad, is we're going to help you today, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, visualize exactly what's happening underneath the carpet. Okay, because we know padding, okay, is like a sponge. All right? The padding in furniture is like a sponge. Okay, so what happens? We've done dishes with the dishcloth, right? And we don't really rinse it out properly. What happens to it?
That kind of mildew.
Yeah, it's mildewy, crunchy, moldy, right? Stinky. It's all hard, and then sharp sand comes and cuts it up at twice the pace, right? Okay. Now with this is what's happening. So we don't remove the dirt with the proper vacuum, and then we're going to steam clean over it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to throw a bunch of water over it and hope that that solves it. Okay. And then it looks like this, which looks great. But all of a sudden, the original stains over the next day or 2 start to come back, don't they? Because when you steam clean, it stays dry on the surface within usually 4 or 5 hours, but it stays wet for up to 2 days. Now, what grows there when things are wet for 2 days in a dark spot? Let me hear it.
Mold.
Mold, bacteria, mildew, fungus, everything nasty, right? Okay? It's going to grow there. And then what happens is these stains, they start to come back up, almost in the same shapes they left, because the dirt deposits underneath were never taken care of. Now, when you get your Kirby today, we always tell you should shampoo, you know, your primary spots of concern. In other words, what rooms you're going to go after first to shampoo. You should vacuum those for 2 weeks or a bag, whichever comes last, right? Now, look at this dirt pad. We'll probably kind of see through it, right? Now, watch this. See how it took the black on underneath it? Right? That's what's happening. That's why that even though today this carpet's going to look really good when we suck the shampoo up, you're going to have to understand you're still going to have that layer of darkness underneath it. Because not all the dirt's out, because today you only got to sample the Kirby. The dirt didn't come in a day, and it's not leaving in a day. True? Okay. Dirt comes in layers, so we have to keep pulling off the layers over the next couple weeks, and eventually the majority of the dirt, not all the dirt, because that would be unrealistic, but the majority of the dirt, when used with the Kirby continuously, will be out, and then you're shampooing. And then underneath it, you'll have light instead of a dark cover, right? Okay, now, look what's going on underneath this carpet. Look at that. Now, what happens, and watch you guys, we're taping this. Now, what happens is, okay, when you're looking at this, is the dirtiest spots in front of the doors, walkways in the halls, they're going to put even more water, right? Because they're going to be trying to really do a good job. And they're going to squeegee that area for you. You ever see the guys that are really pumping that thing hard, trying to clean it? So this is basically what they're doing.
Red in the mud.
Makes no sense, does it? Okay, now, watch this. There's nothing to come through, is there? Because there's no dirt. Now, when you're steam cleaning, you're doing this. When you're using the Kirby home care system, in other words, you're using the vacuum on the carpet first, right? Okay, and then you're shampooing, okay, with the Kirby shampoo system, it's going to look like this. Now, for the next 30 or 40 years, which way would you like the bottom of your carpets? And ultimately, because what happens, carpets wear from the bottom up, true?
Yeah.
Okay, so which way would we like to take care of our carpet and our shampooing needs for the next 30 to 40 years if we had to pick one way? All right, let me ask you a question. If you don't choose today, are you still choosing? Yeah, if you don't choose today, what are you choosing? Right, because it doesn't matter who comes in, okay, because they're going to be using steam cleaning, right?
Right.
Okay, the only chance you even have is a company like ChemDry, and the problem is it's so expensive. I mean, would you rather do $100 a room or $1.50 a room?
No,
Yeah, $1.50 after 10 years ends up to be $10.50. $100 a room or $99 an area. No one really knows what an area is. Okay, and they do that on purpose because a big room is not going to be an area. It's going to be more than an area. So that $99 room you had them come in for, does that make sense? All right, ends up being $115 because that goes over the area, right? Okay, so let's just say even at $100 in 10 years, what are you at? You're at $1,000. So would you rather pay $10.50 or $1,000 over 10 years? Right. Now you're going to pay $1,000 over 10 years and still have this left. Okay? Does that make any sense to anybody? No. Okay? If we were going to have to pick today, based just on shampooing needs, forget all the other machines, all the other uses that we've seen so far, but just based on shampooing needs, which one will we pick today? Which one?
Kirby.
The Kirby way, right? Say it loud, say it proud.
Kirby.
Kirby way. There you guys go. That's your tip for the day. Okay?
All right, Chip.
All right, cool.